Hi everyone, this is Shobhit. I'm part of the product marketing team at POS Portal as well. I work very closely with Evan in trying to bring the best possible integrations and features to our CRM solution. The webinar today is about our integration with Amazon Simple Storage Surface service. It goes by Amazon S3. Now, most of us obviously know Amazon from being the most popular and widely used e-commerce online e-commerce store, but Amazon also has a service, their web services, which is gaining more and more clout today. They are promoting it as the storage for the internet. What Amazon S3 does is it provides a simple web service that interfaces with any other software application that can be linked to the web service, and that integration will help users to retrieve any amount of data anytime from anywhere on the web. The underlying principle, I believe, is the fact that now we are seeing cloud-based software applications gaining momentum. Everybody is going towards using cloud-based applications. So the underlying principle is, if you're using cloud-based applications, if your software applications are in the cloud, so should your data be. It should not be. You shouldn't be using legacy storage infrastructure for storing your data if you're using cloud-based software applications. And one reason why we chose Amazon as a partner, and the reason why we're working with the Amazon S3 service, is the fact that Amazon gives the same highly scalable, reliable, and inexpensive infrastructure for these web services as they have for their e-commerce website. Now, what that means is that in terms of security, data security, it is the best possible infrastructure out there. They do cutting edge data security measures like encrypted file storage, transmission, and secure access. So we all know how valuable our data is for us and how important it is to make sure it is secure. And that's one of the reasons why we chose Amazon Simple Storage Service, Amazon S3. We have a P2 CRM solution that uses the web services that are provided by Amazon, and we've connected the two so that the data storage that we're going to talk about in the webinar today can be stored on the Amazon Storage Cloud. Now, the most important question, why the webinar? What do we want to achieve in the webinar today? Two important questions that we will cover. First is, how does the integration help a P2 customer? Why do we think the integration is going to help our CRM customers? So we'll talk about that, and then we will also talk about reasons why we think a P2 customer will need the integration that we've built with Amazon S3. So the first question, how will the integration help the P2 customer? In the merchant acquiring industry, all of you are very familiar with the tons of paperwork that is involved. We have merchant records, we have applications, documents, statements, so much stuff, so much paperwork that goes with each merchant. And we know the physical merchant records today occupy a lot of space in our offices. They're pretty tough to manage. To retrieve information is a Herculean task. And most of the sales force is out in the field. There are lots of instances when they need access to these documents, but it being in the hard format, it is tough, and they need some help from the office to retrieve the information. So this integration will help you go paperless. You can digitize merchant records. The second critical feature the integration gives you is you really do not need to invest in old school storage infrastructure where you're investing in servers and data drives, and those are costly as well. The third feature which we think makes the Amazon S3 integration really cutting edge and really user friendly is you pay as you go. Same concept as cloud applications. You only pay for what you have used, and then that makes it highly scalable as well. The fourth point, it is extremely inexpensive as well. The storage, if you compare it with the storage that you would buy in terms of data drives or servers, is there's I personally believe there is no comparison. The standard storage that we give using this integration, you see, is about 95 cents every GB, and that limit is up to 1 terabyte. So 1 terabyte is a lot of data. Very few of our customers, I think, are even using 25 to 30% of that limit. So the integration is extremely inexpensive. You just pay what you've used for, so it's highly scalable as well. Now I'm going to hand it over to Evan, and Evan is actually going to show you in our CRM solution what merchant records, what documents are we talking about.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that explanation, Shobit. That was great. So guys, what I'm going to show you now is, Shobit discussed why this is such a good solution for the merchants, and so I want to show you in P2 exactly what we're referring to. So this is P2, our industry-specific CRM system. And in this system, what we've done is we've set it up as kind of an end-to-end solution for customers that need a CRM system to run their entire business. We do everything from lead routing, lead management, all the way into the sales process, back office, underwriting, customer service, all the way through things like boarding integrations and residual calculations. So we really cover everything. We provide tools to manage your entire ISO. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to jump into an active opportunity, right? So this is an active merchant that I'm selling to. We're going to jump into one of these merchant records. And I want to scroll down and show you what we're referring to. So anywhere where you're attaching documents. And so this area here in deals, when you actually click into deals, what you're going to see here is an area where you're specifically adding attachments for each deal. Now, the way this will work out, guys, is, most of our clients, when they begin to use P2, they start to move forward with it, and they're adding attachments for any merchants they're selling to, say from today on. But some of our other clients want to come back historically and add additional documents, add additional supporting apps, voided checks, business licenses, all the different supporting docs that you have filling up your file cabinets in your office today. Those can all be easily attached here in the attachments section, so that whenever you come into a merchant and you need information, you can look into the record and see, okay, this is a deal for A Street Pizza, it's from merchant processing, and then here's all the attached documents that were specific to that merchant processing. So this is a really important feature to remember, guys, when you're looking at switching your company over to a paperless office, where you can use the use P2 and the power of the cloud and the Amazon S3 integration to allow you to just really add as many documents as you want inside of P2. Now this is a great solution for clients and users of P2 that, again, want to be paperless but want to have all their documents, all their paper stored inside the cloud.
Thanks, Evan. Now I'm going to quickly talk about the second question that I had mentioned during the beginning of the webinar. We've talked about how the integration with Amazon S3 is going to help a P2 customer. Now, the second most important question, and in fact a very obvious question, when does a P2 customer actually need it, if they need it ever? To understand that, we have to go towards the concept of understanding how storage happens in P2. And since P2 is developed on the Force.com platform, which is a platform provided by Salesforce, the #1 cloud-based CRM organization. So the restrictions, or I shouldn't use the word restrictions, but the limits that we have for storage in a P2 are dependent on what Salesforce provides. And we got to remember, all cloud-based applications thrive on optimizing the access that we have to that data, how quickly they respond to our needs, what is the speed of working in the system. All that is dependent on how data is traveling back and forth through the web. So the storage in P2 is divided into two categories. One is data storage, and the second is file storage. When a P2 customer signs up and they get a P2 account, they become a customer. They start off with 1 gig, 1 GB of data storage and 11 gigs of file storage. All the merchant records, information about contacts, people involved in the businesses, their addresses, all that information goes under the data storage category, and the attachments and documents that Evan showed you go under the file storage. And so Salesforce has set these minimum limits that any P2 customer starts off with. And this is, if you guys look at the limits, it's pretty, extensive, and most of our customers, when they start off, they don't utilize anywhere close to 100% of these limits. The important reason why we feel this integration with S3 is critical is for the future, when we are talking about digitizing your back office and going paperless. So that's one of the critical reasons to keep in mind. Now we've talked about how data is divided in P2, and every user, because it is a CRM solution, and we get licenses, our customers get licenses, so there could be one organization, but they could have 30 licenses to be using the CRM solution. So every license or every seat has an allocation. It is 20 megs for data and 612 for file. So what that means is that your minimum limits are 1 gig and 11 gigs between data and file storage, and per user allocation is 20 megabytes and 612 megabytes of file and data. Now as the number of users go up, you don't have to buy additional data, as long as the per user allocation is in it's directly proportional to your data storage and file storage. So as long as that is being kept in line, you get additional storage. So for example, if you have a minimum file storage of 11 gigs and you have 30 licenses, so if you do 30 times 612, that is going to take your 11 gigs, so you will get that additional file storage without having to buy it. And that is the reason why we feel that most of our customers don't actually need to buy additional storage right now. And another critical factor to keep in mind is, and this is linked to the speed of the system that I mentioned, Salesforce, in fact P2 has an upload limit of 20 megabytes, 20 megs. So every attachment, every file that you upload has to be within these limits. Now again, most of the uploads that we do are always within these limits, but in the future, when we're talking about digitizing our back office, going paperless, there might be occasions where we might go over the limit. And that's why the integration with Amazon S3, it gives you additional storage if needed, which is very, very cost effective. It's very cheap, and it also takes away the upload limit that P2 has, which is 25 megs. Now, there's this question where always comes to my mind, and I think probably is coming to your mind as well, where we're talking about this great CRM solution, and then we also say that, hey, there's these limits for data. So a good example, a good for it to understand why the limits exist is, now we know all the cell phone providers have, everybody's going away from the free data plan, and they're trying to charge you if you need more than a certain limit. That is to make sure that the bandwidth is good for everybody, because we're adding more and more customers to this big cloud infrastructure, and as you add more people, if everybody is optimizing their usage, everybody is going to get a faster response from the system, and the slowness of the system is going to be reduced. And that's the reason why you have these limits, which are, I believe, pretty extensive. None of our customers ever feel the need to go outside of these limits, but since P2 is such a cutting-edge CRM solution, we always want to give you features and additional parts of the CRM that will always make it a solution which you will have great use for, and hence the integration with S3. So that being said, with P2, being on the cloud does not mean you have to really compromise on data storage options. You have enough options as a P2 customer, but if you feel the need to go beyond the ones that you have, we have built this integration that really gives you a very inexpensive solution to integrate more data into your CRM solution using Amazon's S3, the simple storage service.